Hare Radha Madhava Jaya Kanda Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki
Namo Krishna Prestaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devim Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Deshatyarine Jayo Jayo Gaurav Chande Arati Kashobha Iva Jayo Jayo Gaurav Chande Arati Kashobha Jahanavi Tatavane જાગમાન લોભા એ જાનવી તટવને જાગમાન લોભા દક્ષિણની તાઈ ચંદ વામે ગદાધરા દક્ષિણની તાઈ ચંદા વામ ગદાધારા નિકટે અદ્વૈત શ્રી વાસ છત્ર ધારા હે નિકટે અદ્વૈત શ્રી વાસ છત્ર ધારા બાસે আছে ગૌરવ ચંદ્રા રત્ન સિંહ શાણ એ આરતી કરે ના બ્રહ્મા આદિદેવ ગાણ આરતી કરે ના બ્રહ્મા આદિદેવ ગાણ નારો હરિયાદી કરી ચમર ડુલાયા નારો હરિ આદિ કરી ચમર ડોલાયા સંજયા મુકુંદ વસુ ગોસયાદિ ગાયા ઇવ શંખો બાજે ઘંટા બાજે બાજ કરતા શંખો બાજે ઘંટા બાજે બાજ કરતા मधुर मृदंग बजे परम रसाला बाहु कोटि चंद्र दीनी वरन उज्ज्वला कोटि चंद्र गिणी वदन शिव सुख नारदा प्रेम गादा गादा लाउडर गोनिताय की, राधा गोकुलानंद की, सीता राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, शिल प्रभुपाद की. Thank you very much. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavedanta Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Everyone. Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. जोर से, अरे जोर से बोलो। गोविंदाय की, गोविंदाय संध्या आरती की, राधा गोकुलानंद की, सीता राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, नवदीप मायापुर धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, वृंदावन धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, भक्ति वेदांत मनोर की, अंतरराष्ट्रीय कृष्ण भावना संघ की, भगवत गीता की, नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, निदाय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जब हम हार जाते हैं युद्ध में क्या करते हैं? अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं when you lost the battle what you do you surrender, right? हाथ ऊपर करो, हाथ ऊपर करो, जोर से ऊपर मारो भाई ढंग से। I lost my battle, we are lost battle in Maya। जोर से बोलो हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, जोर से otherwise हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे हरे राम, हरे राम, हरे राम, Ram Ram. Thank you very much. 5 more minutes. We have nursing prayer. Then you can go and have prasad. Okay. So we sit down. Everyone can sit down. 5 minutes more. Thank you very much.
Namaste Narasimhaya. हिरण्यकाशिपूर्वक्षः शिलातङ्कानकालये हितो नृसिंहो परतो नृसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहो बाहि नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवले नाकामद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल तनुभृङ्गा केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नृसिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव नृसिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव नृसिंहदेव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्री प्रभुपाद की, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे की गौर। Hare Krishna, there's Bhagavad Gita class starting here now. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjan Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjan Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radha. Jayo Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Jayo Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Gauranitai, 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 Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashat Shishimat His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashat Shishimat His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shri Makunda Radha Kunda Gir Govardhan Ki. Vrindavan Dham Ki. Mayapur Dham Ki. Jagannath Kshetra Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Tulsi Maharani Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Sarasvata Deva Gaura Vani Pracharina Nirvishashashnyavadi Pasthite Adashtarina. Hare Krishna everyone, thank you so much for coming and joining this Bhagavad Gita class. Also welcome to those listening online. So today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9 and verse 20. Bhagavad Gita. There are some Bhagavad Gita, I think there. Would you mind? So before we start, we can say invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So chapter 9, text 20. And I would also like to ask your blessings so that we can learn something from this class. And hopefully, I can get some purification and inspiration from you as well. So, yes, okay, the Sanskrit. Traividyamam samapaputa papa Yajñarištva svargatim prartyayante Te punyamassadya surendra lokam Ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. So if you could repeat please after me. Traividyamam soma paputa papa Yajñarištva svargatim prartayante. Te punyamassadya surendra lokam Ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Has anyone found the verse? Yeah. Okay, one more time. Traividyamam soma paputa papa Yajnarištva svargatim prartayante Te punyam sadhya surendra lokam Ashnanti divyam divideva bhogan. Thank you. Word for word. Traividya, the knowers of the three Vedas. Mam, me. Soma pa, drinkers of soma juice. Puta, purified. Papa, of sins. Yajnai, with sacrifices. Ishtva, worshipping. Svagatim, passage to heaven. Prartayanta, pray for. Te, they. Punyam, pious. Asadya, attaining. Sura Indra, of Indra. Lokam, the world. Ashnanti, enjoy. Divyan, celestial. Divi, in heaven. Deva Bhogan, the pleasures of the gods. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Purport. The word Trividya refers to the three Vedas, Sama, Yajur, and Rig. A Brahman who has studied these three Vedas is called a Trivedi. Anyone who is very much attached to knowledge derived from these three Vedas is respected in society. Unfortunately, there are many great scholars of the Vedas who do not know the ultimate purport of studying them. Therefore, Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal of Trivedis. Actual Trivedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Devotional service begins with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. Unfortunately, those who are simply official students of the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to the different demigods like Indra and Chandra. By such endeavor, the worshippers of different demigods are certainly purified of the contamination of the lower qualities of nature and are thereby elevated to the higher planetary systems or heavenly planets known as Matarloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, etc. Once situated on those higher planetary systems, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than on this planet. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvei Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamshcha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice seeking the heavenly planets worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So I would like to ask you a question to start with. Do you like going for holiday? Yes? Do you like going for holiday? Why do you like going for holiday? What's good about it? Okay, so you have a break from what you usually are doing. Why do you like going for holiday? Oh, so you have some freedom there. Okay, some freedom, yeah. And what is the worst thing about going for a holiday? Coming back, right? Yeah, very good. Everyone knows that pain. So, actually, this going to the heavenly planets can be compared to going for a holiday. So, just like to go for holiday, we need to have some money in our bank account. We have to work hard in order to accumulate some money. We put them in the account, and then, great, we can go for holiday. But like you said, at some point, we have to come back because we can't just be on holiday all day, all our life. We have limited resources. We have limited Lakshmi to spend this for our holiday. And once we have spent this Lakshmi for our holiday, we have to come back again to work. So similarly, going to the heavenly planets is like that. One has to work hard by worshipping demigods, by performing certain rituals, and this practice is like earning money and putting them into account. But in that case, what one earns is piety. So as we collect more and more piety, and it's there in the account, our account, then at some point, yes, at the end of life, if we have accumulated enough piety, we can go to the heavenly planets. But just like when you go for holiday, you have to come back. Similarly, when you go to the heavenly planets, you have a really great time there. You can enjoy so much more than here. Like it is said here, hundreds of thousands of times more. In the heavenly planets, we can enjoy hundreds of thousands of times more than here. And the life there is much, much, much longer. One day in heavenly planets, it's like 6 months for us, and they live, I can't remember how long, 100,000 years? Is that? Sorry? 100 years according to anyway, very long. Actually, they are called Amara, which means deathless. But they are not deathless. They also have to die. But because they live for such a long time, that's why it is said they are deathless. But actually, it's not like that. They have to die at some point. So once the pious credit has run out for them, they have to come back again, just like we have to come back from holiday. Similarly, for the demigods, they have to come back again to the earthly planet. And what happens? What is the result of coming back again to the earthly planets? What is the result? Yeah, there is less enjoyment, so it's like degradation. And also there is, again, we're just moving on again and again in this cycle of birth and death. So yeah, so it seems like fun, but actually it's not. It's not. It's also suffering. It's just in a very nice packaging, but it's still suffering. Yeah, and how it is said here that how one can get to this to the heavenly planets is by drinking soma juice, which Srila Prabhupada explains that that some time ago it was even though the soma juice comes from the heavenly planets, but from the moon planet, but in the past it was possible even to manufacture it on Earth, or somehow get it. But these days we cannot get it. But the result of drinking this soma juice was that one would get piety. So yeah, and from that what one would be able to go to heavenly planets. And Krishna says so that those who do that, those who study the Vedas, they study the Vedas, yeah, which is a good thing. But Krishna says they are studying the Vedas and they are drinking the soma juice, but they are seeking the heavenly planets. This is their purpose of studying the Vedas. And Krishna says that such worship is indirect worship. And because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedaischa sarvar aham eva vedyo, Vedanta krit Vedanta vid evachaham. So he says that from all the Vedas I am to be known. And that means that the purpose of studying the Vedas is to get to know Krishna as he is, and to achieve eternal life with him in Goloka Vrindavan. But we cannot achieve it if the purpose for us studying the Vedas is to go to the heavenly planets. But Krishna says they worship me indirectly. So they still worship Krishna, but indirectly. So why is it said here indirectly? Do you have any ideas why it is said indirectly? It's indirect worship, yeah? It's good, it's not bad, yes.
So if they are, my understanding is that if there is some form of, if it's specifically talking about studying, so that is like gyan, acquiring gyan, or if it's studying the Vedas with the intention to perform yajnas, or things like karmakanda, then that's still following the Vedas. So if one is still following the Vedas, then that's pleasing to Krishna. But again, it's that intention. Is that what is the practitioner's intention? That is it that they are studying to just have jnana yoga, or is it that they're practicing because they want to do they want to get better life and facilities and things like that? So because of that intention, it's not directed towards pleasing Krishna. It's to do with pleasing themselves, either by having more knowledge or getting better essential facilities. It's indirect.
Yes, thank you. Really nice point. So it is actually, studying the Vedas, it means coming closer to Krishna. But the thing is that the intention is to study for the sake of studying, or to get some material benefit from that studies. But and that is indirect worship. Yes, and it's indirect, but it's still good. In a way, it is like, can be compared that when the mother wants the child to eat vegetables, maybe she would she would give them sweets first. She would put the sweets on the plate as well, and then the child, just somehow or other, will also eat vegetables. So in a way, this also can be like that. That it's attracting, this vision of getting something material, something pleasurable from studying the Vedas. Is attracting people to study them, but at the same time, they are associating with Krishna, even though indirectly, but they are coming closer to him. And as a result, they get purified from sinful reactions. They take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra, and they enjoy. But like we said, the problem is that one has to come back from there, and this is the main problem. So, coming to the purport. Srila Prabhupada says that this word Trividya refers to the three Vedas, Sama, Yajur and Rig. A Brahmana who has studied these three Vedas is called a Trivedi. Anyone who is very much attached to knowledge derived from these three Vedas is respected in society. Unfortunately, there are many great scholars of the Vedas who do not know the ultimate purport of studying them. So, this is interesting that that one can study the Vedas, but they may not necessarily understand what is the ultimate purport. What's the purport of studying them? I remember when I was studying, I had one teacher who he read Bhagavad Gita and he read other Vedic scriptures, but his approach was critical, analytical. He just wanted to maybe compare to other and basically find faults. So with such attitude, one cannot derive the benefits. In fact, Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyasmitatvataha. So he says, one can understand me as I am only by devotional service. So not by just reading. If we don't have the right attitude, then we are not going to understand Krishna. But if we study the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, with the intention that I want to understand Krishna, and that's why I'm studying, he will reveal himself to us and we will come closer to him, and then this activity becomes devotional service. Because what does devotional means? What does it mean, devotional? What do you think? What does it mean, devotional? Action. Okay, action. And any action?
It's aimed devotion. It's action aimed at one's Ishtadev or predominant deity.
So action that you do for the deity, for Krishna. Right. So, and what is the key in this activity? So for that to become devotional, can we just, there is some secret ingredient that is there in order for the activity to be devotional. So Krishna says, Yat karoshi yat ashnasi. How was it? Yeah. But he says that, no, patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. So he says, with love. Yeah, love is the secret ingredient. Exactly. So he says, you can offer me a leaf, a flower, little water. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's vegetarian and clean. But with love, you have to offer it with love. So when we do things for Krishna with love, that's when it is called devotional service. And this is when we are really coming closer to Krishna, and that's when he really can taste our love, which he is looking for, which he is missing from us. So Srila Prabhupada says, therefore Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal of the three Vedis. He is the ultimate goal of the three Vedis. And like we were we're having some discussion about it, that it's not just about understanding Krishna theoretically in that sense, or who he is, how does he look like, but to understand the goal of life is to serve him, to understand that my real identity is that I'm the servant of God, and the perfection of my life is to become his servant too. I mean, we're all the servants of him, but to act in that way, to change our activity in such a way that we can direct them towards him, to serve him, to dedicate all our life, all our activities, all our thoughts and words to dedicate to him. This is perfection of life. So, like it is said here, that actual three Vedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. So, to know Vedas actually means to know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He's the Master, and we are the servant. And that's what it means. That's what it means to understand the Vedas. And what is more is that there are so many Vedic scriptures, and who has time to read those scriptures? We hardly find time to read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam every day, but we're so lucky because Srila Prabhupada explains that that the Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic scriptures, because it explains who is Krishna and what is the purpose of our life, that it's to serve him. So we don't really have to worry about studying all the Vedas. Just by studying Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, we can achieve perfection of life. That's it. And that means that we will actually know the Vedas. And why? Why is that just by reading Bhagavad Gita we know the Vedas? Because we know by studying Bhagavad Gita we will understand Krishna. And the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. And then it is explained here, devotional service begins with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. So most important practice for us is chanting and hearing. Like Srila Prabhupada says, this is how we start. When we start chanting, then only can we understand scriptures, and by reading scriptures we can improve our chanting. So those two activities go together, and this is how the devotional service begins. Because yes, sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say that chanting is everything. You can just chant and that's it. But here he says that side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth, that will help us if we not just chant, but we also read, discuss the scriptures, try to explain to each other, discuss with devotees. That will really bring us more realization, and it will help us to understand the literature deeper, and it will help us also to purify our chanting. Then it is said here, unfortunately, those who are simply official students of the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to the different demigods like Indra and Chandra. Yeah, it says that they are official students of the Vedas. Why does Srila Prabhupada use this word, official students of the Vedas, official student? Do you have any thoughts? I was thinking it's like, when something is official, you cannot really put your heart and express your real emotions, what you feel. It has to be really, you just have to be composed, stay composed, and you don't really go fully into it. It stays on the surface. So similarly, I understand that those who are official students they are, yes, officially they are studying the Vedas, but truly they don't understand what is the purpose and they don't really put their heart into it and their feelings. And by such endeavor, the worshippers of different demigods are certainly purified of the contamination of the lower qualities of nature and are thereby elevated to the higher planetary systems or heavenly planets known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, etc. So, yeah, definitely this worshipping demigods will help one to, like it is explained here, will help one to elevate to the higher modes, to be purified of the contamination of the lower modes of passion and ignorance, and will help one to come to the mode of goodness. But Srila Prabhupada explains it's not enough to come to the mode of goodness. We have to come to the pure goodness. And by this process of chanting and hearing, we can actually first come to the mode of goodness and then ultimately transcend even goodness and come to the pure goodness. And only then, on this platform of pure goodness, we can perform real devotional service. In the end, Srila Prabhupada says that once situated on those higher planetary systems, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than on this planet. Would you like to try? Do you think, does it seem like some tempting idea to go to heavenly planets? Not sure about it, right? Yes, I wouldn't go for that either because, like we mentioned, yes, it's definitely great enjoyment, but it's limited. Whereas the more we practice Krishna conscious activities, the more we practice devotional service, the enjoyment that can come from this practice is far better than any material enjoyment. And what is more is that it's ever increasing. So the more we surrender to Krishna, the more enjoyment we will experience, and we don't really, and it will be much more satisfying than any material enjoyment, even in heavenly planets. So just to summarize what we have said today is that going to heavenly planets can be compared to going on holiday. We need some money to go on holiday. Similarly, we need some piety to go to the heavenly planets, and this piety is accumulated by worshipping demigods, by drinking soma juice, it used to be. And it's there in our bank account, but once we go there, we can only spend certain time there, and once our pious credit runs out, then we have to come back, just like we have to come back from holiday. And we are coming back again to the cycle of birth and death. Whereas when we take to devotional service, we can actually, at the end of life, we have opportunity to go back to Godhead, go back to ultimate destination, and we will not need to go back again and go through again, get the same cycle of birth, death, disease, and old age, all the suffering. So it seems to be quite clear that, like Srila Prabhupada explains, that the intelligent person would choose to worship to worship Krishna, not to worship demigods, because just like in this analogy of when we are worshipping Krishna, it's like watering the roots of the tree. Just by watering the roots, the whole tree, all the branches become nourished. Similarly, if we worship Krishna, everyone is pleased, all the demigods are pleased, and everyone will be pleased. So we don't have to separately worship demigods, because by this is faith. This is called faith. You know, to have this a firm conviction that by worshipping Krishna, this is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the faith means conviction that just by worshipping Krishna, everything else, all the duties, all the purposes that we may have in life, everything will be fulfilled. And we will not have any debts to demigod, forefathers, just by doing that, just by worshipping Krishna. Would you like to share anything that you have taken from this talk, or if you have any questions or comment, this is the time. Yes, sure. Maybe we can use the mic. What's your name? Anjali. Okay.
I just wanted to ask, so in the purport it says devotional service begins with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. How can we make sure that when we're doing devotional service it doesn't become mechanical? We're always remembering that we're actually serving Krishna. It's not just a mundane activity.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So you're saying that, it is said here that devotional service begins with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And you're saying, yes, we have so many different activities that we may do for Krishna, but how do we keep it devotional service? How do we remember Krishna in that situation? How do we don't make it mechanical? So my understanding is that this is why here Srila Prabhupada says that devotional service begins with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. And Srila Prabhupada would always say that our sadhana comes first. First comes our health, then sadhana, and then service. So in order to have the right consciousness when we are doing service for Krishna, we have to have good sadhana. Because if we do that properly, if we have good chanting, we really hear attentively, and when we study Srila Prabhupada's books, that really raises our consciousness. And then when we are doing service, we can actually really put our heart into it. But without that preparation, it's difficult. And also we can help ourselves during those activities. We can listen to the class or just chant or hear the chanting and ideally also chant. And it really helps us. It really raises our consciousness because for us in this age of Kali Yuga, the best way to remember Krishna is to chant. By this vibration, it will help us to remember Krishna. Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your question. Anything else anyone would like to say? Okay. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare नाम गाए गोरा चांद मधुर सारे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे এই নাম গায়ে গোরা চাঁদ মধুর সারে এই নাম গায়ে গোরা চাঁদ মধুর সারে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Na Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare এই নাম গায় গোরাচন্দ মধুর সদে এই নাম গায় গোরাচন্দ মধুর সদে হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে এই নাম গায়ে গোরাচন্দ মধুর স্বরে এই নাম গায়ে গোরাচন্দ মধুর স্বরে হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম 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 হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম রাম হরে হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Sila Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,